There is a deal that holds the entire global economy together. It was made in secret, in a desert, between two governments who both needed something the other had. And if it ever breaks, the financial world as we know it ends. The year is 1974. Nixon has just destroyed the gold standard 3 years earlier. The dollar is floating, trust is cracking, and the world is asking a very uncomfortable question. If the dollar isn't backed by gold anymore, what is it backed by? America needed an answer, fast, and Secretary of State Henry Kissinger had one. It wasn't elegant, it wasn't democratic, but it was effective. He flew to Riyadh, he sat across from the Saudi royal family, and he made them an offer they couldn't refuse. The details of that meeting stayed classified for nearly 50 years. Here is what was agreed upon behind closed doors. Saudi Arabia would price its oil exclusively in US dollars, every barrel, every transaction worldwide. In return, the United States would provide military protection, weapons, and security guarantees to the Saudi regime. Simple, clean, and quietly revolutionary. Because within months, other OPEC nations followed. Then came the rest of the oil world. Suddenly, every country on earth that needed oil, which was every country on earth, had to hold US dollars to buy it. The dollar had found its new anchor. Not gold, not law, not democracy. Oil. This is the system that still runs the world today, and almost no one can name it. Here is the mechanism, and it is elegant in its brutality. Country A wants to buy oil. To buy oil, it needs dollars. To get dollars, it trades with America or holds US Treasury bonds. So oil exporting nations accumulate billions, sometimes trillions, in dollar surpluses. Where do those surpluses go? Back into US Treasury bonds, back into American debt, which means every time the world buys oil, it is also financing the United States government. America gets to run trillion-dollar deficits because the entire planet is essentially forced to fund them. This is what economists call America's exorbitant privilege. A privilege built in a desert meeting room in 1974. But here is the part that should make you stop and think, what happens when the deal starts to crack? In 2023, Saudi Arabia publicly discussed pricing oil in Chinese yuan. Russia began selling oil in rubles and rupees after Western sanctions. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the BRICS bloc, openly talked about a new reserve currency to replace the dollar. And in 2024, the original 50-year Petrodollar agreement between the US and Saudi Arabia quietly expired without renewal. None of this made front-page news, but historians will remember it, because the last time America lost its monetary anchor, in 1971, it took a secret deal in the desert to replace it. This time, there may be no replacement waiting. The petrodollar was never written into international law. It was never voted on, never announced, never explained to the public. It was simply agreed upon by two governments in a room, and for 50 years it quietly held the financial world together. Now the room is getting crowded, and the agreement is up for renegotiation. If this changed how you see the world, subscribe, because the next episode goes even deeper into the systems built without your knowledge that run your life anyway.